friends, and welcome back to a very, very cold Sweden. It's minus 30 today. It has been quite a lot this winter actually. It's been a very cold winter. So, perfect time to talk about diesel heaters. You know I rave about the Chinese diesel heaters because I think they're brilliant. They're a bargain for the price and they're bloody good. The one here is running right now. And if it wasn't, this room would be very much colder than it is. This is really the main one that we use now. Whenever it drops below minus 20, this heater goes on, and it goes on all night basically. And it just keeps this room nice, or okay. Not necessarily nice, I mean it's only 8 degrees in here, so it's a little bit fresh, but 8 degrees is better than minus 30, which it probably would get to if we didn't have any kind of heating in here. But obviously I can turn it up, that's just on as low as it will go. And I've been running a diesel heater in here since day one, so about 3 years or something, 2.5 years now. Kind of lost track of time a little bit. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is where to store the fuel for said diesel heater. Because pretty much all of them, the Chinese ones anyway, will come with something like this. This is like the standard tank that they come with. Various sizes, I think you get them in a 15 litre as well, which we've got next door actually. Because they're quite good, they're slimline, you know, you can tuck them into places and whatever. But it's not really enough. 10 litres, when we're running this one 24/7, it'll go through 20 litres in a week. I don't really want to have to be pissing around and keeping an eye on the level all the time. So we use something different. Before I get onto that, I just wanted to quickly touch on the fuel delivery mechanism from whichever tank you decide to use. So this is what they come with, most of them, which is basically just can't get in the bag. It's like a bolt with the centre bored out of it and a little nipple bit on the end, and you just fish this inside and drill a hole in your tank, put that through, and then you have like a rubber washer and a nut that goes on the outside, and then that is what your fuel line connects onto. However, personally, I wouldn't recommend using these. Now, I've never had one leak, and I've installed quite a few of these tanks in various vehicles and locations. Never had one leak, but it can. You know, it's only these two little rubber ding-dongs holding it in, and you know what rubber's like with fuel, eventually it degrades, and then all of a sudden you're going to have diesel all over your house or your camper van or your car or whatever the hell else you've fitted it into. So personally I would sack that off. Now a lot of these tanks, I don't actually have one to demonstrate, but I'll show you mine in a minute. Quite a few of them also come with something called a standpipe, which is just a long piece of hollow tube, something like that, but longer. I think that actually is the bottom of one. Normally sort of half a metre long or something. When you get them, they're often bent round on themselves, so you've got to very carefully unbend it without folding it. Stupid design, they just do that for the packaging. But yeah, it's basically a tube that has a bit on the end, something like that, you know, so you can attach your pipe onto it, and then it will have a section with like a washer, something like that, welded onto it, and some screw holes and a seal. And what that does is you drill a hole in the top. Really they're meant for mounting in vehicles, so when you're tapping into the vehicle fuel tank, you can add a new standpipe, put it into the vehicle, You drill a hole in the tank, slot it in, and then this goes down to, in a vehicle you want it probably something like that, so you still got a quarter of a tank left in there and you can't empty your diesel tank. But in a house setting doesn't really matter, so go as close as you can get to the bottom without it touching the bottom, otherwise it will block the flow. And these are far superior in my opinion, because the only hole in your tank is in the top, so unless you start throwing your tank around in the room, it's not going to leak. And there's absolutely no way that it can leak either. Nothing's going to degrade, or you don't even need a seal on the top if you don't want to. You could just have it dangling in there. It's better to seal it up, obviously, but yeah, I would highly recommend using these over these things. Again, never had one fail. I'm sure plenty of people will say, well, mine's never leaked, it's been in there 3 years. You know, it's just a cautionary warning, because diesel is unpleasant when it gets all over the place, in your carpets, in your bedding, you know. Right, let's have a look at mine. So this is what I use. Again, there's nothing wrong with those tanks that you get with them, but it's not enough for me. So I've gone for these, I think they're 20 litres water canisters from the local hardware store. These were about 5 or 6 quid each, I think, something like that, and we use these in the other diesel heaters in the house, well, apart from the middle, but whatever. It's so much better, you know. I'm not saying this is the tank you should buy, and what I'm saying is, once you start using this thing instead, you suddenly, it opens up some doorways, and then you can use anything. You know, you could use a 50 litre one, and then you'd have to fill it up like once a month or something. So we have these, and then we go to the petrol station with them and just fill it up. But you can see one of these standpipes here, so it's just that tube, as I said, and that goes all the way down right to the bottom of the tank, just off probably half a centimetre, and that's it. You know, there's no way this can leak. The fill cap's there and the diesel outlet is there. This one's quite a nice chunky one. Sometimes they're a bit crapper, but nice seal on it, and off you go into your diesel heater. This one actually has, it's like a rectangle on the bottom, so you do your cutout like this, opposite way, and then you turn it and that locks it in, and then you do the nut up. And there's various other types as well, but yeah, I just wanted to, because although this may seem very obvious to some people, to others, you know, you just bought your nice new diesel heater, you got the tank with it, you're like, I'm going to use that because it came with the kit, that's what I should use. Maybe, you know, someone out there didn't think that, oh, actually, maybe I could use a bigger tank and then I wouldn't have to fill it up as often. So maybe that one person will find this video useful. If you're worried about the plastic types, I don't really know a lot about this, because there's different types of plastic, aren't there? I know that petrol can be a bit funny. This has no markings on it whatsoever, but that container hasn't melted and leaked everywhere. So, but I can't really say for anything else, I've got no idea. It looks like a similar plastic. That's all I can offer, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's it, just a little video. Hope it helps someone, you know, maybe it helps one person think outside the box, then it was worth me making it. I do believe this is the first video of 24 on this channel, so Happy New Year to everyone. I wish you all the best, hope you had a good Christmas and New Year, and I shall see you in the next video. Catch you in a bit.